Hi guys, coming at you with another Benko Gambit game. This time it's going to be Portish versus Benko from 1971. And this game is going to show you a sideline, but probably one of the more popular sidelines, which is why I picked it, because you'll see that a lot. So G4, knight f6, C4, C5, D5 here, B5. So this is our starting position. After C takes B5, A6. So here, instead of grabbing the pawn here and letting black retake, white plays E3 here. So clearly just planning to retake with the bishop if in the event that black takes. And black plays G6. White goes knight C3, D6. Portish plays knight F3. And Benko plays bishop G7. Okay, so pretty interesting opening. And it's kind of surprising that Portish decided to take the A pawn at this point. But after castle long, so Benko doesn't want to take right away, but wants to just leave this. And this is funny, but it actually transposes to a line in the modern Benko Gambit where black doesn't take the pawn, but it's going to be up at tempo because as you'll see in this game, white plays E3 and E4 later. So E4 here is what he played. Okay, other moves besides E4. What about bishop E2? Then we would definitely take, because whenever you see the light squared bishop move, when you're playing this system where you're not going to take right away on A6 with the bishop, that's when you should take with the bishop, because now if white is going to take here, he's going to lose another tempo since he moved the bishop and then traded the bishop. So that's a little trick. And then, so what happened in the game was after E4 was played, Queen A5 by Benko, and here was kind of probably the earliest game in this line. But Queen A5 threatens E4 with the knight because of this pin, obviously. And knight D2 was played in the game, but I want to look at what about bishop D2 in this position. Now, after bishop D2, now is the time to take on A6, so that when white retakes here, black retakes with the queen. Now we're out of this, all these discovered ideas. Queen E2, knight FD7, typical idea, opening dark squared bishop. A4 here, and now trade queens and go knight A6, because this ending position is apparently good for black. All right, another way, another thing white could try here, bishop D3. This is actually a mistake though. And I'll let you pause the video and try to figure out why it's a mistake, but this is a typical trap in these Benko lines. So go ahead and pause the video. I hope you guys found knight takes D5 exclam, E takes D5, bishop takes C3 check, and bishop D2, bishop takes D2, queen takes D2, queen takes, and black is much better in that position. So now going back and looking at knight D2, Benko recognized that it was the right time to play bishop takes on A6, bishop takes A6, queen takes A6, queen E2, knight F to D7. And by the way, usually black can interchange these moves. These are just two separate ways of playing. either you put the f knight on d7 or you put the b knight on d7. Both are good. Knight f d7, a4, queen takes a2, king takes e2, knight a6. And after rook b1, f5, and this is where the two players agreed to a draw. And it was Portish and Benko, two well-known grandmasters, but this position is just about even. And in the next game, we'll show you some more mainline ways of playing, and we'll see what happens in the next two games. Thank you very much.